Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Model Horse Maniac. I'm in the pony room, as always, with ponies behind me. And I have literally just made my little video that I've uploaded about the new 2025 Schleich that they're doing for the second half of the year. And I thought, seeing as I haven't had a chance to really look at them, I've looked at the pictures to make the video, but I haven't really had a chance to examine them in more detail. I thought I'd jump on here and do a little reaction video to what I think of some of the new models that they're coming out with later on this year. So the first thing that stands out to me is, of course, that for the first time there are two different scales of Schleich. We've got the 1/24th scale, which is the usual Schleich scale that they have been for the past God knows how many years since they've been producing horses. But we also have this new, they're dubbing it, it's like the Collector series, which are 1/12th scale, which, if you're not familiar with, that's like Breyer Classic / Freedom scale, or the same scale as the Collect Day Dulux. And I think they're going to be more closer to what the Collect Days are like, with how they feel, like that more rubbery material. But I'm a little bit dubious about these guys. I like Schleich being that smaller scale, because it just messes it up a bit if there's two different scales, I think. And also, I don't know what this will be like with the Schleich yet, because obviously we haven't seen them actually in person. Only the prototypes in Nuremberg Toy Fair, but certainly the Collect Day they're so much more expensive, and the paint jobs are just not there. They're not as good. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I certainly think they'll be on the pricier side. But yeah, let's have a look at these guys. So we're going to start off with the Arabian Mare, which is this lovely chestnut with a big blaze and two white back socks. The important thing also to mention with these is that there has been some, not speculation even, basically some representatives from Schleich have said that the colours on these are not final, they're going to change, which I actually like all the colours, so I'm a little bit disappointed about that, because I do actually really like all of these colours. But so these colours, we don't know if they're final, so it's basically just looking at the sculptures. But this is a really nice Arabian Mare. I'm really happy with the way that Schleich are sculpting again their horses now. They've clearly got people sculpting that actually know what a horse looks like, because we've been in the dark ages for the last almost 10 years now of people just being like, that doesn't even look like a horse. So it's really nice that I'm starting to get back into Schleich again now. I've actually got some coming, because I'm really digging some of these new sculpts by actual sculptors who know how to sculpt a horse. But anyway, this is a really nice chestnut Arabian Mare. I'm dubious of the bigger scale. We'll see what it looks like in person. But certainly from this prototype, it looks really nice, really well sculpted. The tail looks a little bit off to me, but that is how Arabians often hold their tails, so it just looks a bit weird, sculpturally. But yeah, she looks like she's got a really pretty little face as well, and looks like a really nice sculpture. So next up we have a Tinker Gelding. Again, the colour is subject to change, but I really hope they keep this colour. I really like it. I'm not the hugest fan of the sculpt. It's also going to be interesting because this is going to be a tall model, right? If this is Schleich Breyer Classic scale, I've got my classics behind me, that's why I'm looking. But a rearing Breyer Classics is going to be quite a big model. It's going to be so awkward to fit on a shelf. That's why one of the reasons I don't collect the bigger Collect Days, because they don't fit on the shelf. You have to put them somewhere different. But yeah, this is going to be a chunky, and it'll be interesting how well he stands again, because he's going to be really heavy if he is made out of that, which I'm assuming he is. He's not going to be like Breyer, I don't think. I think they will be solid like the Collect Day. But yeah, he looks really nice again. He is really well sculpted. Just something about him looks a little bit off to me, but that could just be me. He does look really nice. So next up we've got the Pre-Stallion. Again, colour might change, in this really nice grey. I do really like this sculpt. This is probably my favourite out of these sculptures, actually. It looks really nice. Yeah, it would be interesting again to see what it looks like in person. But I'm just so glad that these models actually look like somebody that knows what they're doing has sculpted them. But yeah, I wish this one was in a littler scale because I think it would look really nice in a littler scale. And as I said, I don't think I'm going to be getting any of these bigger ones, not unless they absolutely blow me away, just because of like how expensive they're going to be and how out of place they're going to look on my Schleich shelf. But I might get one just for like Schleich history. But if I get one, it will probably be this one because this one is really nice, really well sculpted. Well done, Schleich. And then we have the Trichina mare in bay. Again, colour might change, although a lot of the Trichina models you see are bay, so I can't really imagine this one changing. This one, I don't know if it's just like the angle of the photo, but this one does look slightly off to me, like how high the front end is compared with the thumb end. It just looks a little bit not quite right to me. Something proportionally is a little bit off here. So it'd be interesting to see in person. But again, like, still really nice. Like, I'm being nitpicky compared with what we've had in the past. And then last up, we have this paint horse mare, which again, colour might change. I really hope not on this one. I really do like this colour scheme a lot. And I also really like this sculpture. It's something a little bit different. It's not just like horse standing, horse walking, horse trotting. It's nice to see them like with the rearing tinker again. It's nice to see something a little bit different. And this really does look like a nice model. It sort of looks like it's, well, running away or playing or something. So this would probably be either my first or second choice if I was to get one, depending on what they look like in person. But yeah, overall, these collector series, like, well done, Schleich, for doing them. I'm really glad to see them actually finally realizing that, hang on, we have a lot of collectors that have stopped collecting, and a lot of collectors that have continued collecting all the way through. But it's really nice to see them focus on us a bit again. But I would have preferred to see it in the smaller scale because that's one of the reasons I collect Schleich at the end of the day. Like, if I'm going to, at the end of the day, if I'm going to be paying like £30-40 for a model, which I'm guessing these are going to be around the 30 mark, based on where the collect days are, like for £30, that's very traditional money. Not new, but like on the second-hand market or with deals or whatever. So like that's getting expensive now. And now we're getting into territory more familiar. We're back to the 1/24 scale models that Schleich always do. So let's have a look and see what these look like. I haven't really looked at all these. Like, I'd seen the collector series ones in the past, but these ones are like completely new to me. I didn't know they existed until this morning. And the first thing we have is the new advent calendar. And I quite like this. It's nice to see. So this is like, it's a horse with a carriage, and I've always wondered why for the advent calendars they haven't made them more Christmas themed, because they're always like a horse, a foal usually, and a bunch of little tiny accessories that they can put in all the doors. And it always seems a bit random to me, like, why would you not make it more Christmas themed? So this is, I was pleasantly surprised when I saw this. Be interesting to see like all the little, because I'm assuming this will be a 24 door like the other ones are. So there's going to be so many, because there's only like, so well, there's three decent sized animal figures. So they're going to have to do lots of like, here's the reins, here's the bridle, here's the, they're going to have to split to get the 24 doors, assuming it is that. They're going to have to split it into so many little pieces, and I'm sure they will because that's what they always do. It's also a shame that we're not getting a different horse. I'm pretty sure this is the same horse as one of the regular runs. Unless the socks are different, it looks the same to me, which is what honestly will stop me buying it, because I do really like the idea of like the almost like the sleigh, but then assuming they're going to be around the £25-30 mark again, I'm not paying that sort of money just for the sleigh because I like it. So yeah, it's a shame the horse isn't different. They've really gotten into that bad habit. They used to always, with the advent calendars, the first few years, they had like two exclusive horses. They had usually a mare and a foal. And I always got them because they were two exclusive horses and they were usually on molds that I liked. But like the last few years have mostly just been one horse that's different. And then if you're a collector and you only really want that different horse, you're paying a lot of money for one horse. I mean, you can find them a lot cheaper. Like the one that I liked, I managed to pick up just the horse alone for like a £5 separately. So yeah, it's a shame they haven't used a different horse. Even if it was just like a little bit different, that would be enough for me. But it's a horse, a reindeer, the doggy, the squirrel that seems to be included with every set now. And I think it's really nice to see them going out and having something that's a little bit different this year instead of, as I said, just the normal horse foal bunch of random accessories that are in no way related to Christmas. And next up, we have the Lakeside Truck and Trailer. This is very American. I think I'm noticing more as I look at it. But this has got, I believe, I think the paint gilding behind it is definitely a regular run model. The one in front, I think, I think that's also a regular run. I'll correct myself on the screen, but I'm pretty sure that's also a regular run model, or at least very similar to one. But this is not my sort of thing really anymore. It looks nice enough. It's going to be very expensive. I would imagine. It's nice to see like a different truck and trailer set instead of just the like the normal one that they do. So yeah, it's something different. It's not really for me though. Um, yeah, we'll see what it looks like in person. And then we have the Lisa's tournament training set. So this is the Appaloosa Mare Foal. We've seen them a few times since they were introduced. They're actually at the back end of when I was like collecting seriously. So like 2017, I think they were introduced, and then we've seen a few. These have been used quite a bit over the years, and they're Schleich that I quite like. They're not ones I'm going to go out of my way to get. They almost look like in black and white in this photo because they're this really sort of blacky grey blanket Appaloosa, but they look nice enough. There's them pair and the jump and the Lisa, I assume, with the whip and another little jump in front. And this looks like a perfectly nice set. Not something I'm going to go out of my way to collect, but perfectly nice little Schleich set. It does annoy me a bit with these sets that like they don't have a saddle and a bridle with them, because like I know it's like, you know, how much do kids really care? But I would have cared as a kid about like the actual logistics of what is happening here. There's a girl with no hat on, standing in the middle of the arena with a whip and a fold and a mare. Like, it's a bit. I suppose it's like free jumping, but it's a bit weird. It's the same thing that always used to annoy me, like with the jumps. Like you can see how tall the jumps are. I think realistically, is an Appaloosa mare that's just had a foal going to be jumping that high? Like, I don't think so. But that's just a nitpicky me thing. They're kids' toys. I'm sure kids will love them. And next up, we have Sarah's first aid kit, which is the thing I think out of the lot that I'm most excited about. This has got the new Mawari foal in and the new paint horse foal as well, I believe, in two new colours. And I love the colour scheme on both of these models. I really like, even though I haven't seen it in person, I have actually just ordered it, the new Mawari foal. It's so nice to see Schleich actually doing different breeds instead of just doing the same ones over and over and over again, like the paint horses. But this looks like a really nice colour. This like pinto buckskin. And also the quarter horse foal looks like, paint horse foal looks in a really nice colour as well. If these guys are done in person anything like they look like in the stock photo, this is the set that I will be getting. And I don't have too long, July. That will go quite quickly. Yeah, and again, it then just comes with like the generic rider model Sarah and the generic like first aid kit carrots that we've seen a million times before. But I'm really excited about these foals, and I hope it's not too expensive because all I want is the foals really. And another model that is new for 2025 is Hannah's Western Adventures, which is another one of these little play sets. And this is probably my second favorite after the last one, the two foals. So this features the new paint horse gelding or stallion, I can't remember which. But anyway, that new paint horse with like this really cool chestnut pattern, which reminds me a lot of like the 2007 the old paint horse stallion. Like the pattern looks really similar, and I really like this guy. I really like that paint horse stallion from 2007. I have all four of the different color variations because they did like little different marking variations. But yeah, this guy looks really cool. And it's like your typical Schleich barrel racing set. Nice to see that there's now 3 barrels because they did go through this phase of there were a couple of barrel racing sets they did back in the Dark Ages again that only had 2 barrels, and even me, who doesn't know that much about Western, knows that it's 3 barrels, and you also get a couple of poles and a couple of little jumps. And it also, looking at it now, it looks like the saddle might be slightly different as well. Maybe I could be wrong, but because that's another one of the things that's always annoyed me, and like because back in the olden days, Schleich used to do the Western tack sets had Western tack, whereas recently they've just had English tack. But this saddle looks slightly different to me. It looks like it might be a Westernish style, so that'll be really interesting. The bridle is very much an English bridle. I don't know why Schleich has this obsession with putting flash nosebands on every bridle. It's where you can sort of tell that the people that are designing these don't know the most about horses. like with the barrel racing set only coming with 2 barrels and the bridles that all have flashes on, and it's not like that. That's not what most horses don't wear a flash noseband. So yeah, the bridle also looks a little bit odd. Like it looks like it's got 2 straps coming down the side, but we'll see what it looks like in person. But I'm not really bothered about that. I'm just bothered about how nice the pony looks, and the pony looks really, really good. And then now we're going to look at, so I'm surprised they haven't done this before, but they're now doing these like collectible foals, which I'm assuming will like not be blind packaged. They'll just be pick out which one you want. They don't look like they're going to be blind packaged. And they've done this sort of thing with like the unicorns and fairies and stuff for quite a while now, so I'm surprised it's taken them that long to start doing it with the horses. But first up we have Collectible Foal Diamond. I'm not quite sure why it's called Diamond when it's gold, but we'll go with it. And like decorators are my favourite, so this is on the Haflinger foal mould, which is a perfectly reasonable mould. I've got a couple on it. I like it well enough, but like the gold isn't really my favourite sort of thing, so I probably won't bother picking it up. But it's interesting. I wonder if this is like going to be the chase piece or something, but it doesn't say anything about it, so I'm assuming it's just regular with the others. But yes, a nice enough idea, nice enough looking foal. Can't really mess up that much on the paint job because it's just like spray painted gold by the looks of it. And now we have another collectible foal. This is Darcy. I'm just now noticing that they all start with D. I don't know why that is, why the names all start with D. You think if they were going to go through the alphabet, they'd start with maybe A, but I don't know. But this is on one of the newer foal molds that I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to edit it in. One of the like 2023-ish ones where I really wasn't looking at them that much. But this is, again, another cute little foal in this like dark grey. Looks nice enough. Should look nice enough in person. Yeah, looks perfectly good. And then we have another collectible foal. This is Dipper, and this is on the Paint Horse foal mold, again from the same sort of era as the Haflinger foal, a bit late, I think like 2019. And this is a guy that I really like, and I'm sure I'll pick him up because they should be reasonably cheap on this really nice pan actually. Hopefully it looks this good in real life. But this is like, again, in my little tier list I've got going on in my head, this is pretty high up there, and it'll probably be the first one I get because it will be the cheapest one. But they've done a really nice job on this paint job, and it looks like a really nice, cute little foal. And then the last horse we have, or the last foal we have, is another collectible foal. This is Delilah, on the Andalusian foal mold, again from like 2017. I think it was the same year as the Haflinger. This guy looks familiar to me, but I think I've got it in my head that he looks like one of the magazine models, but I'm looking over there now, and there are some that are a bit similar, but I don't think there are any that look like. I think this is just me making it up in my head. But again, another perfectly inoffensive foal mold. It looks like a really nice foal done in a really nice colour. Yeah, another really nice, cute little pony that I'll probably add to my collection because it will probably be pretty cheap, hopefully. And then the last thing is technically not a horse, but I wanted to mention it anyway because I'm super excited about this. This is the large wooden barn, which was originally promoted as being some sort of limited edition. Like it sounded like it was only going to be available on Schleich's website, but I've seen it on a few places now. I've got it. There's a German website that has it, and I'm not going to try and pronounce it. But like Animal Kingdom Toy Store in like Australia and New Zealand have it as well. So it looks like it's not going to be just limited to the Schleich website, which is good. I suspect it's going to be pretty expensive, but I'm really happy about this. It's really weird for me now to think that the wooden barns are being called like retro when they're the barns of my childhood. Like that was what they did up until 2016 when they did the first plastic barn. But this looks like a really nice, good quality set. It doesn't look like it has any animals with it. It looks like it's just the barn. But again, it's sort of starting to appeal to that sort of collector's generation again, like with the collector's horses, the 1/12 scale ones that we talked about right at the start. It's more of that trying to appeal to collectors again, which I'm always really super happy about. And it's really cool to see a wooden barn again. So I'm hoping it won't be too expensive and I'll be able to justify spending that amount of money on it. But yeah, and it looks like a really nice little set. And hopefully these sort of collectors things sell well enough that Schleich continues to do them, that it's not just something that they do and then nobody buys and then that's it. So yeah, I wanted to include this anyway, even though this is not technically a horse. But that is it for the reaction video. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about them. I'm really impressed with Schleich this year. They're really. I'd love to know who's. Something must have changed in the team. Like some people must have come on to give them this new direction and to point out to them that like there are still collectors and even children like realistic horses. So yeah, I'm really excited about these, and we're really excited to see what happens next year and what these actually look like in person. So thank you for watching and goodbye.